So that's
Okay.
why I think I might be too close.
No, you decide. You hold the edges, and it's already recording. And then I think, yeah, so I think we're good.
That's
Okay.
good.
And I think the way you're holding it. Okay, so today is November 2nd?
Third.
November 3rd, 2024. I'm just outside of New York City. I'm with Martin. We'll just use his first name only. And then Martin, you said this interview, this video, this audio, these images, you don't mind if I use them. I can remove your name, your face, your voice. I just want the story. Am I allowed to use this for any purpose?
Yeah, no
Okay.
problem. No
And
problem. You
the-
can use it.
Okay, the purpose that I want to use it for is to better educate people. Let's be careful with this finger, just in case there's a microphone there. Yeah, there's a microphone. So there you go. I want to use this video to better educate people about someone who's come out of a crisis. And that crisis might be the loss of a loved one. It could be someone who has had a terrible injury, bankruptcy, addiction, some hurt,
Right.
homelessness, whatever it is. So Martin is a man who graduated from a program that allowed him to have about a year to really just get his whole life changed. Before we talk about that, how bad was it that made you decide, I've got to act? How bad was it in the past so you decided I have to do something different?
Oh, especially first of all, I feel very, very depressive with me and frustrated and I think never I gonna see the light in the end in the tunnel ending, and I decided and I need a change because I hurt myself. I might underestimate it very badly too, and everything gonna be worst,
Yeah.
So and then decide and I get it change my life radically because I don't gonna end in good way if I don't do that. So I lost a lot of family, I lost relations, opportunities, and horrible,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna try to reveal, and they find this place, the rescue mission, and beautiful people there, and especially Paul and Danny D and Sarah. Everybody there is amazing, and you too, because you're my friend now.
Mm.
I can know you there, and now I'm very blessed, my friend. And they try to continually, because this is no end, this is the star, and they gotta continually,
What-
That I gotta fight. I gotta struggle.
And so I saw you fight.
In the good way.
Right.
You
And I saw you fight in a good way with self-discipline.
Yeah,
So
I gotta
that's-
continually, this
Yeah.
is no end. You don't can say something absolutely right.
Yeah.
Nothing is absolutely. You gotta continually,
So let me talk about that. What I saw with you, where I believe you were successful, is you became very focused. It almost looked like you decided you didn't want to do too much socializing. You didn't want to do what you loved, play the drums a lot. You started to become a student. And you became a student, and very rapidly, you just started getting better and better and better. And even though it was really difficult with some of the math,
Yeah.
you kept asking and asking for help,
Yes.
which a lot of men
Yes.
don't.
Yes.
And you told me a story of asking the
Yes.
professor once,
Yes.
twice, 3, 4 times, keep
Yeah.
going back.
Yeah, because the story for this is encourage. Encourage is good, but sometimes you need to learn for real learn process, because encourage is good, but encourage sometimes don't give you the knowledge, and you gotta go to ask people,
So
Hey, if
courage,
you don't-
did you mean courage? Is that what I heard?
yeah, courage is good.
That'll only get you so far.
But you gotta get more encouraged.
Okay, I got it.
You gotta be curious and then you wanna get it, the team right, you know,
I like that.
because you know motivation is good, but if you don't have a good solid floor for your motivation
Yeah.
is not too much motivation. I think it's more to motivation.
So when you,
There's another things behind.
I just
You
remember,
know,
I remember seeing you so motivated and so disciplined. What was in your head
yeah.
that made you so many? And you also told me that your morning devotions at 8 o'clock meant so much to you, and
Yeah.
then you were missing them over a year
No,
later.
no.
But you
Yeah.
told me that you actually missed them. You wish that you had not stopped, and so now
Yeah.
you do your own morning
Yeah.
devotion.
Yes.
So your faith.
Yes.
What
Yes.
else was motivating you to be so disciplined? What else?
So discipline. You got to be disciplined in the life because in one curve, it's like a driver. You drive a car. If you know alert, you can crash.
Mhm.
So you gotta that I think, and the discipline is very good for that because you stay alert, recently, considerator, patient, and wake up. You know, wake up and properly for action, for a good action and a good conduct.
Yeah.
You know, discipline is everything. I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes discipline is not easy because sometimes example, you're gonna. I told you to Carol sometimes. You know, she put the alarm for go to work,
Yeah.
and some like 5 times, and the Gino wake up and they say, Carol, isn't it one time you feel you listen to the alarm and yeah, but then sometimes I'm little.
My wife loves my wife loves snooze alarms too. By the way.
She say, but I'm tired. Listen, Carol, you wake up in the first time, and I know in the 5 minutes you feel like a better.
Yeah.
Right away you feel good.
And before we get
You know
there,
that
because-
discipline is like this. You gotta be alert.
but before we talk about
Yeah.
Carol, because we're going to get to Carol, I want to go back a little bit. I saw you working hard
Yeah,
for that year.
yeah,
I saw you studying hard.
yeah.
What
yeah.
was the hardest
Yeah.
moment being a student? What was the hardest moment being a student? How did you overcome it? And then tell me about that time when you felt like, okay, I am succeeding as a student. Tell me about that change from really hard to making progress to now feeling like you were a professional student.
Well, first of all, when I'm started studying in that college in San Diego, so I'm very scared. And first of all, I'm very scared, and they say, "Oh man, that is a lot of things. I gonna get it." And I don't know if I'm good for music. I can do this. I go to the school and study music, and I know read. I'm intelligent, but this is another monster. So it's another animal. So I gotta enter in ¿cómo se dice dimensión desconocida?
And what?
In the unknown zone. You know, dimensión desconocida.
Unknown dimension.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and they say, wow, okay. So now I'm here, so I know I have another opportunity to do this, and I gotta do this for my life. I gotta get my fear on the side, and I gotta live day a day, you know, and I'm gonna stop little by little. Sometimes I remember and the first class in HVAC, I'm lost, like completely, like you know, like I don't know, like grandmother on the supermarket, something like that. Crazy. And they gonna start little by little, you know. And the another is giving me a good motivation for me for the teacher. The teacher say for everybody, hey, listen, this course is not for everybody. Some guy pass, so another not pass because this is not easy, but this is not hard too. So if you put your interest, you pay attention and you like read and study, you can pass. You can do that.
That encouragement helps.
Yeah,
And then let
you
me-
can do that.
Oh,
But
oh.
it's no easy, he said. You know,
So-
and I think I go in my first class. I go to come back to the mission, and they say, "Wow, man, I gotta do this, I gotta do that," and I gotta see all the program, and all the things we need, and the books is coming, I research in the computer and say, "Wow, he's like a scientist."
Yeah.
Because you gotta know a lot of things and you gotta prepare like 400 questions. You never know how the questions the guys is got a 100 pick, but in the 400 questions you gotta study everything.
Yeah. And I should tell
And,
anyone watching this what he's talking about is he was studying heating, ventilation, and air conditioning to be a technician to get the kind of certification that's honored anywhere in the United States. So it was really serious stuff because you can't mess up HVAC. And then he also moved into plumbing.
Yeah.
So in the end, he got 5 certifications that are honored nationwide to be in those trades, and it was so hard. I want you to tell the story that I heard from you
yeah.
about when you were so overwhelmed with math, and you
Yeah,
kept going
yeah.
back to the professor. Relive that.
Yeah, I remember I gotta start to do math. And man, something fry in my brain, and something I'm gonna like have a pressure on my in my head, and they say, "Wow, man!" And they try to read, and they say, "Man, that is very hard because you have a lot of converters, a lot of constants, and they got a different passage." In maths, for converting different things in pressures, forget about it. And formulas in heat, in Celsius, and then forget about it in sizes.
Forget about it.
No. Man,
Yeah.
that is a nightmare.
I saw your books, man.
No, and I feel like and I say for me, man, Martin, you in big trouble now. So what do you do now for get out to here?
And what did you do?
So no, I gotta. First of all, I gotta listen to the teacher, and I say, "Wow, man, I gotta go." Everybody go, to the class, and I say, "No, I gotta talk now to this teacher because I gotta figure it out." And they go and they say, "Hey."
The class left. You're alone there with the teacher.
Yeah. I take the teacher
go
in
up.
the end, and so the teacher say me, and I sit down there and looking him, to see what happened, my friend, Yeah, and I say, "No, I need you do me some orientation because I'm very, misunderstood, and in this."
So
And he said me, "Don't worry, you know what? So we talk tomorrow. You come in like 45 minutes before the class, and I explain very well the things because now I get 10 hours in this college, and I gotta go. I need to go to house but I promise tomorrow.
yeah.
And then he coming with all the patience and the passion, patient,
Yeah.
and explaining very well, and they recommend a book, and the book is giving me the college same, Samantha Stanley.
Yeah.
Samantha is giving me the maths book, very interesting, very good. For that, I told you the people who have a scare with math.
Yeah.
Try to figure it out with the chef coordination in the college or in the university or whatever.
And so here's what I saw you going through in the story you told me.
Yeah.
You said that you met with a professor, you dug into some really hard math, you learned,
Yeah.
but what happened
Yeah.
was then not long later you found yourself
Yeah.
going back again, asking some of the same
Yeah,
questions.
because I never.
and then again 4 times.
Yeah.
And what you said to me is that a lot of men will not do that because asking for
Right.
help is tough, but asking for help on same
Yeah.
thing 4 times.
Yeah.
So
And
you had to swallow your
because
pride,
you know why?
right?
You know why? South American math is different to Americans because in the South American math you put the parentheses or the box like this. Here is flip it up. Everything is flip it up.
Really?
It's like a It's like the English grammatical.
Yeah.
A lot of suppositions. Everything is backwards. So this is the same. This is like you go one way, in drive one way, and the cars, they're like
Yeah.
and you see pulls, all pulls and pulls.
So let me throw this out at you.
Forget about
So
it. Yeah.
culturally, socially, language,
Yeah.
everything.
Right.
And you decided you were going to stop drinking. So here you are sober. You're in
I get it.
a new city. You're in a new program.
Yeah.
So everything.
And
right?
the all discourse I do in English
Yeah.
is not my first language.
Right.
So I got it, and I have a part. I studied English with in another college.
Yeah, that's right.
You remember?
English English was what you were taking at the same time.
So in the same time,
Yeah.
and the one friend from Venezuela is in my class, saying, "Wow, man, you're crazy. How you gotta do
Yeah.
that? You overhelp me. You do something is knowing your language, and you get flowing and the Ishmael in the same. You crazy."
And I saw you.
I told you, I can do it.
Well, it was hard because I remember seeing you
It's
come back
very
at
hard
night. So
because I don't have time.
you would come back at night
Yeah.
and you would say what about your brain? What did you tell me a couple times about your brain after that long day?
Oh man, melty. My brain's melting. No. I have sometimes very headache,
Yeah.
big headache, because span. My brain. I feel like
So
and
I don't want to make light of it.
You know,
but I want
and
to.
another thing I do, very interesting things is before I go to sleep
Mhm.
in the mission before, so I get the half hour before to go sleep, and I get all the I study in the day, and I try to memorize, and I I sleep with that thing.
So you.
And that's it. When they wake up in the morning,
So you
the
could
first
you could lock in that new knowledge before you went to sleep.
Right,
and study it,
right,
and that you felt that helped you retain it.
right.
Okay, so
right.
the reason
Right.
why I want to keep rolling, and I in no way wanted
Yeah.
to minimize how hard it was, I just want I'm thinking especially of some individuals I want to watch this.
Yeah.
It will be difficult sometimes, and it will be so difficult.
Yes.
Yet
yes.
your message is keep going
Yeah.
because why?
Yeah. You gotta keep going. First of all, for you, prove for yourself and that you can do it, and that for you feel good inside you. When it's like you win a good stone. It's like you put the stone in your head, like a crown, And when you feel a beautiful satisfaction when you do something and they say, "Wow, man, you can do it," and you're looking back and and in your flashback, and you say, "Wow, man, you remember," and you say, "You can do it," and everybody say, "No, that is hard for you," and you do it, man, and wow,
and then
the people is not saying you don't can do it. It's look like, wow, man, how this guy can do that.
Yeah, exactly. And then two
So
questions.
that is very satisfaction for your soul, for your spirit.
Yeah. Tell me.
It's give you confidence.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And it also gave your reputation with yourself was really good.
But really,
So you found yourself feeling more
really
confident
good.
about who you
And
were, what you could do.
and they recommend it to people sometimes. Don't let bullying for people or for criticize or people is allowed for you or for you think and that you crazy because you're not crazy. You follow your dreams and that you can do come true. Come true the things.
And so I've seen I've seen your dreams come true. We're gonna finish that at the end, but before we get there. So faith, your faith, was a big part of this. Can you tell me a little bit about how your faith changed and how it brought you through this year that you...
My faith in God? Oof. God now for me is everything, because if you have God, you have a good defense and you can be very safe. If you don't have God, who is gonna defend you?
Yeah.
Nobody defends you, because the devil is using you, and believe me, he no defends you. He's throwing in the fire. But God, if you with God and you pray and you feel all the day more confidence,
Yeah.
and you know when you go to sleep, somebody's there for take care of you, and you don't get it, be afraid, you know. And fear is a trap. Fear is a trap.
Do not
The
fear.
the fear don't exist. You know, it's in your mind. You know, because God don't wanna seek for people. God don't wanna bad things for people. You know.
And
So,
I remember seeing the fear.
you know,
I saw the fear.
For me, God is spirits. Is all the spirits. All the spirit is so pure, and you can't touch God, because it's spirit. It's sign the spirit.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, God is incredible, and I have a lot of faith, and all the days, you know. So when you call me, I read the Bible. Sometimes I, turn it off.
Yeah, when I called
My
you
phone.
this morning, you were
Yeah,
literally doing your morning devotion.
Yeah. Because I'm very, respect that time for my. When they pray, I told you to Carol, please don't do noise, go there or go out.
Yeah.
Leave me alone, and she know.
Yeah.
I'm like this. I'm very,
Yeah.
Oh, I go to the room, put my door lock, and try to stay only with God, and stay.
So I want to, because we're going to be winding down here soon on this interview, but I'd like to share that objectively, what I saw you going through was amazing. So one, I saw fear diminishing, reducing in your life. I saw less fear.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I met you, and you were seated, and you were drinking a latte, was it?
Cappuccino?
Cappuccino. And you found just the right place that served just the right cappuccino.
Yeah.
And you were sitting there, and you had that sort of that European lifestyle, which you often hear about in Spain, where it's just, you were very peaceful, you were outdoors, you were enjoying your coffee, no phone, no social media, nothing. And you looked so peaceful. And you were doing that more and more. So you had this balance of starting the day with devotion, a full day of study and classes, and then you would often give yourself that peace. I like that balance. I like the way you pulled out of conflict, and you were not trying to do a lot socially. You weren't trying to fill your life with little and important things. You filled yourself with a few big things.
Yeah, people sometimes, you got to be clear one things for you affect yourself and another ones. Sometimes you got to be a good selfish. I told you good selfish.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Of course. So, and you don't feel guilty or feel like I gotta do this for this guy or for another guy or for. If you can do it, have time, and then put your life in the line, do it. But if you that is no good for you, you gotta say no, my friend.
Yeah.
So you got to be, conscious. Sometimes consciousness. What sometimes you got to be take care of yourself and empower yourself.
Yeah, I would love that. And in fact, let me give an example of how you you didn't give up and you empowered yourself. I remember that early on when you arrived, you hit a dead end. You thought you were going to go be able to work. You could not. So instead of viewing that dead end as an absolute discouraging end of the road, you talked to some people. They introduced you to the HVAC program, and you started this whole thing. And you jumped in because that didn't work out. And you jumped into this, and your idea was you wanted to build a career because you were a professional, professional drummer, but you felt that lifestyle for a man.
I left the
Yeah.
Some people tell me, "Hey, Martin, you're a musician. What do you do?
Yeah.
You go to school, you study." Yeah, man, but I don't feel more satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because another thing I told you for the musicians, if he is in the mission, so music is good, but being musician is very tough. It's very tough business, and you got to be another things. You never know, and maybe you famous guy in the music. Oh, congratulations, it's alright, but maybe not, and then you have another thing to do.
Yeah. And so,
So
that's
you got to be something forgive you safe security for your life.
so you
For you're not falling in homeless and you're not falling in, you got to work in something, have future, and try to get a good vision.
yeah.
Try to don't fly in bananas. Because flying bananas maybe is cost their life.
Yeah. And
You
so
know?
the
So-
concept of a job, a better job, a career, you jumped straight into preparing for a career. You
Yeah.
encountered God, you dealt with the recovery, you stopped drinking.
Yeah,
You-
I gotta stop.
You did a lot of
Yeah.
self-care, you started focusing on
Yeah.
classes, you
Yeah.
began the career preparation. You did all of that. Your relationship with this woman of 20 years suddenly became more solid because
Yeah.
she saw
Yeah.
your self-discipline. She came
Yeah,
out.
before we have a lot of crises. We have for the alcohol,
Well-
she sometimes is scary, and I remember.
But if you don't mind, I'd like to go to
Yeah,
this
okay.
piece. This piece, which I think is so powerful, is that once you stop drinking, all those crises stopped.
It's stop.
And I want to go further. This is important because
Yeah.
you've done this, and I want you to receive the honor and the credit. You're working with your faith, working with the program, working with advocates, CLAs, you and the people to the college. You then were so disciplined, so focused that
Yeah.
this woman in your life of 20 years saw a different man. You two
Yeah.
began talking, you had less crisis, better communication. She flew out and you got married.
I know.
And
I
you-
know. It's true. It's
And
true.
then-
It's true.
And then you finished
That,
the program.
that I don't do in 19 years. I do in one.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
It's incredible.
So much can happen in 1 year.
It's like a God opened the windows.
Bingo.
In the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah.
Hey, I go to I throw the rope.
And so, and as I wind down here,
It's true. Yeah.
is you did this
No, it's true.
in a
it's true.
year.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've given up.
Yeah. In a year and a half, really.
Yeah, that's because you did a quick.
Yeah.
You came back briefly.
It's
So-
year and a half is the real time.
So
yeah.
here you are today.
Yep.
You're not smoking. You are sober. You
Yeah.
are married. You're
Yeah.
living in this beautiful place.
Yes. So
Let me finish this because you
No,
deserve this credit.
It's okay. It's
You
okay.
called and you wanted to do
But
it.
I remember something. 40 hours a week in the school.
40 hours a week.
40 hours a week in the school. I do.
That's a huge investment.
I'm doing. I do in
Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah, that's
40 hours a week.
huge.
So like this.
And so you attained your 5 certifications.
Yeah.
You're married.
Yeah.
You jumped on a train. You came back home. You are now living in this beautiful place. You have a lifestyle where you're finishing up some legal paperwork. You've already talked to the union, and you're lined up for a very good paying professional career.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you and your wife now have
Yeah.
plans for the future.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, I'm going to grab the camera. She's going to sit here and we'll end for about 30, 60 seconds with her.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so Carol, plop down there. And why I wanted to surprise you and have you plop down is because you told me that you saw an amazing transformation.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Well, prior to Martin's time in San Diego, I mean, Martin was always this incredible loving man, but he had demons, and the demon was alcohol, and it wreaked havoc with our relationship, other relationships, and the good didn't come through. The light of Martin didn't come through, and now I see this man who his love is bigger than is big. His heart is big, and I always say to Martin, you know, you got to share that really special part of you with other people. And I see this man who's grown. He has this whole new dimension to his life.
Tell us about that, because he's doing some things that are pretty new. Tell us about the new man 1.5 years later. What's going on right now? What's your lifestyle like?
Our lifestyle is that we really cooperate nicely with each other. We collaborate nicely with each other. Martin's very giving. I mean, we're waiting for the paperwork for Martin to begin working, but he's really supportive of me. And Martin and I try to find places to go, getaways, to get fresh air. We're living a very healthy lifestyle.
Martial arts classes.
He took it upon himself to go and get a driver's permit. He went through all the steps himself. He passed last week. So
English classes.
watch out on those roads, Martin.
Oh, it's all right.
English classes.
Yeah.
And you know, as Martin said to you previously, I mean, to master all of this in a language that is not his own is no small feat.
Yeah.
I myself am a language teacher. So, you know, I learned Spanish as an American, and I know what it takes to really master a language.
Yeah. And what languages do you speak?
Spanish. Portuguese and English.
Yeah. Yes. Portuguese, right?
Portuguese.
Yeah. So 3 languages, and now this whole new skill. You cook here like a chef.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. So music is still big in your lives, and I wanted to thank you because you asked me to come here because you wanted to make a donation. So we'll take care of that. But I want to thank you because you serve as a role model for the men and women that are coming out of a crisis, and whether that crisis is a death in the family, a depression, bankruptcy, some hurt or habit that has really debilitated someone. It could be homelessness, it could be addiction, whatever it is. We all have something that happens in our lives, and you stood up and you seem to have more grace for yourself and others, and you're wanting to help. You're in touch with 2 students at the rescue mission to encourage them. So I want to thank you.
You're welcome, my friend.
But we want to thank you for your
Thank
friendship.
you.
Grew out of the mission.
And the mission and everybody there is amazing people.
Who were some of the names that you wanted to thank? Because I see photos here.
So I don't want to be be a classist, because I'm very honest guy. So I love it, all the people there, but I have a very, very special love for Danny D and Paul and Sarah and Vicky and Emily. So Noah, Silae, Carlos, everybody there is amazing, and I love people there.
Yeah, and I don't want to put you on the spot.
This is my people.
Yeah, these are your people, and there were many other names you threw out, so I shouldn't have done that. But
Nice.
there's so many people that
Vicky,
made a difference.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is incredible people there.
So
I'm
thank
really-
you. Thank you for allowing me
Thank you.
to be a part of your new life and to come into your home. Thank you for the donation. And it sounds like you are coming out, and we may have the opportunity to see you in San Diego in
course.
December at the mission.
Of
Yes,
course.
of course.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you guys.
God bless you.
God bless you.